Welcome back to Street Switch Photography on this, what's going to be a pretty wet day. Let's do this.
Street Switch Photography.
So the reason I'm doing this video this morning is because of the BBC calling this attack that's happened yesterday in Manchester at a synagogue far right, which is completely wrong, as we all know, but the BBC still like to spread their rhetoric and push their agenda, even though they know that people know that they're lying. There's a couple of clips I've got you this morning. One of them is obviously the BBC calling it far left, and also they were trying to call the synagogue. They were calling the synagogue a mosque, and they did it twice. Now, the BBC, I think, personally, should be shut the fuck down. It's absolutely disgusting what they do. They aren't even trying to hide it anymore. They are liars, they are pathetic, and they are a paedophile harbouring network full of predators. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over 1 second. Take you over. I pressed the wrong button then because I'm still getting used to this new setup. We'll take you over to the BBC clip first.
A synagogue in Manchester was attacked. And straight away, the BBC, which is Britain's version of the ABC, they tried to steer the story. Watch this.
But also from the far right, which hasn't completely...
Did you hear that? The far right. So let's listen to that again.
A synagogue in Manchester was
attacked.
attacked. And straight away, the BBC, which is Britain's version of the ABC, they tried to steer the story. Watch this.
But also from the far right, which hasn't completely gone away in terms of the Jewish community.
But here's the truth. The attacker, his name was Jihad al-Shamari, a Syrian-born who was granted citizenship in the UK in 2006. Right, and this just sums up the media perfectly. All around the world, the media and governments will tell you that far-right and toxic masculinity is the problem. That young men born in Australia, young men born in Europe, well, they're the real danger. Meanwhile, the same governments that are saying this are flooding their countries with mass immigration, and then they act shocked or just completely ignore when the chaos follows. Do you see the setup here? Target young men, target their masculinity, while ignoring the obvious chaos in the streets, and then put in speech laws to throw people in prison who questioned your immigration policies. It's happening right
now. This is actually what we call create a problem. Yeah, so what will happen is the government will create a problem, hence we have immigration. And then what will happen is, let me just see if I can turn back to my second camera. Then what will happen is they will make this problem kick off. So something will happen, there'll be an incident, and then they'll come up with a solution. That is the way the government actually work, and that's the way the far left work. Now, the BBC calling this far right is absolutely just idiotic. They're not even trying to hide their propaganda anymore. Anybody that pays a TV licence, go online and go and leave the BBC. Don't watch that bullshit anymore. Don't watch it. In fact, don't watch mainstream media. Watch channels like this, 2CTV. There's hundreds of them on YouTube, ready to watch, actually telling people the truth. And these auditors that Channel 4 tried to do a hit piece on with AY Audits, that didn't go according to plan for Channel 4 because they're doing exactly the same as the BBC. Now, guess what? The BBC actually own Channel 4, or the opposite way round. I'm pretty sure it's the right way round that I've got that. So what I would be doing is going straight onto the internet and basically telling the BBC you no longer require their services. And if they come and knock on your door, do what I do. Open the door, say, can I help you? If they say, are you Christian Pinder? That's my name, by the way. I turn around and say, who's asking? They say, oh, I'm a TV licence. I say, no, thank you. And I shut the door in their face. I haven't told them my name. I haven't told them if I need a TV licence. I don't require their services. I do not watch their bullshit TV. I do not watch their propaganda. It's absolute crap. Now, the second clip I'm going to show you was basically after what happened yesterday. Yesterday at a mosque in Manchester. Not a mosque, I've just done it. Fucking hell. That was bad, wasn't it? But the thing is, I'm correcting myself. 2 Jewish people were murdered, and by a jihadi, and that was his actual name, Jihad something. I can't remember his name now. And the Palestinian protesters thought that it'd be a good idea to come out on the streets and actually protest. What a bunch of complete and utter sodomites. I mean, of all the times to do a protest, and to celebrate two people that have been murdered is just pure anti-Semitism. They call it Zionism. That's just another word for hating Jews. And I think you need to see this video because I think it's important. So here's the video that I'm actually talking about.
And I've just gone around the corner so that I can hear you because the loud noise is coming out of the
This is the Palestinian protesters.
Outside of number 10
the
Downing
same
Street.
day
It's pretty deafening. It's
that
mostly
two Jewish people
pro-Palestine
were murdered
protesters,
by a
that are
jihadi
there right now. It is getting a bit
outside
violent,
a
Ian.
synagogue.
I've just seen
I've
three
just remembered the
territorial
word
squad
for it, a
police,
synagogue.
police vans
On
filled
the most
with officers,
holy day
just go onto
of
Whitehall.
the year.
Basically, about sort of half an hour ago, the police cordon that was in place to try basically to control some of the protesters and to stop violence breaking out. That cordon was broken, and I saw all the protesters cheering as they managed to break through that police line. But they are clearly trying.
This is
to,
outside
trying
Whitehall
to keep
in
them
London.
a small and tight area, basically in the middle of Whitehall. It's sort of just been pushed a little bit further down from Downing Street, so it's not quite on Keir Starmer's front window. So I'm sure he probably won't be able to see it, but he definitely will be able to hear it. And I've just gone around the corner.
So I don't know how many people will be in actual agreement with me by me saying I think these Palestinian protests... Now, I am a big advocate for free speech, but when two people are murdered because of the rhetoric that Keir Starmer and the Labour Party were spouting 3 days before at the conference in Liverpool, putting a target on every Reform voter's back, and the anti-Semitism that Labour actually, bring to the party or bring to politics. They shouldn't be allowed in politics. They shouldn't be in politics. The best thing Keir Starmer could probably do right now is quit his job and call a general election. Now, I know that isn't going to happen. We all know that isn't going to happen. And we know that this isn't going to get any better. They're going to turn around and they're going to say, we're going to protect the Jewish people. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Keir Starmer's got a Jewish wife. Blah, 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 blah. And you know also, because you're not stupid, like they like to think you are. You also know that everything they say is a fucking lie. Nothing but complete and utter lies. Now, the BBC need to be held to account as well for trying to push this to the far right. Let's get a few things straight. Over the past 7 to 8 years, how many far left assassination attempts and actual ones that have actually been successful have there been, and which side did they come from? Pop quiz. Well, not a pop quiz, this is a political quiz. None from the far right, quite a few from the far left. Every weekend, how many violent protests do you actually see? Now, we see this with auditors. They will go and try and record these protests and they'll get shoved, pushed around, hit. Now people like, whether you agree with him or not, Charlie Veitch can't go out in Manchester because his life is threatened. He had to walk round with 2 bodyguards for a number of weeks. Also, AB, Auditing Britain, has released a video. He was outside a migrant hotel recording it. He didn't go in. He was outside a migrant hotel. And that particular day, he got the absolute shite beaten out of him by a bunch of these masked Antifa migrant-loving idiots. They were far left. So tell me now, which side is the most dangerous? The far right, even if they did exist, or the far left? The far left are a bunch of violent morons that have been brainwashed, indoctrinated, and they are not going to stop. And now they've got to a point where they do not care what is proven against them. They are still going to go out and commit this violence. I said this after the Keir Starmer convention thing that went off over in Liverpool. Something would happen, and it has. And this needs to stop now. Keir Starmer, you need to resign. Now, there will be more videos coming out today, but none after 3 o'clock, as I've got things to do, the same as most people do. I just think that it's just a complete failure of logic with the Labour Party. I'm going to take you back to another video of over in Whitehall and what happened last night. These people celebrating, they were setting off fireworks, they were cheering, they were all sorts of things. This whole thing, this whole protest should be classed as a terrorist supporting process.
This is the latest razor
And
developed
that's an
by
advert.
Gillette.
If you want a new
Super
razor,
sharp
go and pick one
portable
up.
Razor.
I
It
personally
features
use the
German diamond blade
Manscaped.
material.
No, I don't. Riding round on a bike with a Palestinian flag attached to the back of it after 2 Jews were murdered at a synagogue in Manchester. This is the logic these people use. They think this is okay. They think this is completely fucking normal. Now, it's also been revealed that the guy that did it, his first name is Jihad. Now, the mainstream media are trying to tell us that his parents moved to this country and he was born in this country. He moved to this country when he was 2 years old. Let's get the facts out there. He was 2 years old when he moved to this country. He is Syrian. Syrian? He is a Syrian man. And his first name's Jihad. What does Jihad mean? He wasn't known to the authorities, apparently. Now, I sort of refuse to believe that. 2 other people have been arrested. Who are these other 2 people that have been arrested? Apparently a 60-year-old woman and another bloke. Would that be his mother and father, do you think? Are they the ones that have basically put their extremist views over onto their son after moving to this country? Telling him to go and kill and slit the throats of as many people he actually can. Because that's what he did. If you've seen the videos of him being shot and stuff like that, it's horrific. Nobody should have to go through that. But the BBC and other mainstream media will try and put this on mental illness and things like that. It's nothing to do with mental illness. This is this religion. This is why it isn't compatible with Western society. Now, I'm not saying all Muslims are like this, because they are not by any means. We have what you call moderate Muslims in this country that have lived here peacefully for years. And as I said before, these are the ones that need to stand up and say, we condemn this and we want nothing to do with this. It's basically the same old, same old. The religion has been hijacked by extremists. The same as, this pride flag has been hijacked by this LGBTQ4K bullshit that's going on in this country and harming children. I seen in the hangar the other day in Melton Mowbray a book for children saying that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. And that is harming our society. Let kids be fucking kids. They don't need to know about this stuff. All they need to know is basic education, grow up pretending that they want to be Spider-Man or whatever, but obviously not climbing buildings and falling off of them. I had a vivid imagination when I was younger, and I've gone on to a completely different subject, but this will tie back into what I'm saying. I had a vivid imagination as a young boy. If my mum and dad told me, you're Superman, you're Superman, you're Superman, I'd have jumped quite happily out a 3-story building believing it. Because that's how easy it is to indoctrinate somebody of 8 years old. They'll believe anything you tell them. The same as we believed in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and the rest of it. So if you turn around to a boy and say, you're a girl, you're a girl, you're a girl, they're going to believe it. But you've got to ask the question, why are they telling that person that? And then you come up with things like chest feeding. Now, if you don't know what chest feeding is, that is a man with breast implants breastfeeding a baby. And there's something called autogynephilia. Go and look it up. You can get it freely on Google. And it's a sexual perversion of a bloke that likes to dress as a woman. Now, the reason this ties back into what I was saying is ideology, and how easy it is to push an ideology onto somebody of a weak mind. People seem to lack the ability to critical think nowadays, to ask questions, because this government don't want you asking questions. They don't want you to ask, why are you putting in this ID, the real reasons. And when they say it's to stop immigration and you turn around and say, well, it isn't, is it? Because they're still going to come over. So it's not to stop immigration. I'll tell you why. It's because you're weak-minded and they think they can control you. That's the real reason. I'm just checking my cameras to make sure everything's working. I quite like this 2-camera setup. Let's carry on with this video and see what happens.
But we're going to talk some more now with Lubna Zaidi, former apprentice super supportive, perfect lift,
Won't be a second.
and fits like a
I
dream.
can't see the live chat, guys, so you're going to have to
Sleep.
bear with.
So block 10, more towards Downing Street. And we're near King Charles Street at the moment.
Let's fast forward it a little bit. So just a reminder, this is after 2 Jewish people were killed outside a synagogue in Manchester, and they thought it would be acceptable to still protest. Now, we have had Miss Mahood on the telly this morning basically saying we've got to hold back the protests for a couple of days. They need to hold back these protests permanently because this is spreading hate. They shout from the river to the sea. That is spreading hate. They call people Nazi. That is spreading hate. They call people racist. That is spreading hate. They call for global intifada. That is spreading hate. And that's the reason these need to stop. It's hate speech. And it's disgusting. I'm not going to show any more of this video. I will a little bit. Bugger it. Let's have a look.
Joining me now is
Oh,
the author of international
fucking thing.
bestsellers, including
Excuse my language. For some reason, it keeps doing that. Now, how much money do you think this has cost the police? And do you think Sadiq Khan gives a shit?
Would you like me to provide you, do you want to provide your details, your name, where you live?
More arrests of far left extremists. Antifa, Palestine Action, things like that. It'd be interesting to know how many arrests there actually were. If anybody knows, let me know. Now, I'd like to apologise for my lack of professionalism with this new camera setup. I'm still getting used to it. The videos will get better, believe me.
You've got one in your pocket.
This men's belt by Zitali clicks in place on the backside and locks in. It's got a hidden...
When he's legs, ridiculous. You can feel further away. I told you, sir. We have to hold your head where it is because you keep trying to headbutt. Okay, that's going to harm yourself. That's why we're holding you like this. We would rather sit you up so you could just sit a bit more comfortably. But when we loosen, you try to headbutt the ground again. Okay?
So this guy that's been arrested of the far left, instead of accepting the fact that he's been arrested, he's head-butting the ground. That is the sign of a stable mind, isn't it? Let's be honest.
That was being asked when he's done what he's done. So first of all, No, how come you got flyers on you, Isaac?
Yeah, a British man arrested. Looks like we've what, a bottle of piss?
It's up to you, mate. Why have you got those on you?
We're here for a reason, and today is a special day. And
why are they always so fucking scruffy?
To have this protest go out of control as it did tonight was outrageous in my eyes. it was a right punch in the face to what is good and what is evil, you know. And if you can't see that, then you're looking in the wrong direction. But big up Louis for what you do, and God bless you all. God bless.
And also big up Maya for using the footage.
Maya 2C.
Yeah, big up Maya 2C for restreaming Louis Errington. If you're not already subscribed to Louis, hit the like buttons, you know, and get the notifications going, because Louis, like me, we're in the thick of it.
We cover everything.
And we cover absolutely everything.
The support as well. And also a huge shout out to the moderators. My name is Louis Errington, I'm an independent journalist, and if you're new to the channel, welcome on, and I hope you enjoy all the future content. I will be keeping this...
So I just thought I'd let him finish that sentence there, seeing as it's his video. And yeah, that's basically this morning's video, showing how the Palestinian protesters thought it acceptable to go out and protest. There was a counter-protest, as you can see. The Patriots were out for different reasons. But to go out and celebrate 2 Jewish people's deaths from a jihadi, and then the BBC basically turn around and try and blame it on the far right, and then Miss Mahu come out and say, well, you know, we need to stop the protests for 2 days. Absolutely fucking disgusting, in my opinion. This has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Go and hit the notification bell. There will be some more lives today, if I find anything to do a live on. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Street Switch Photography.
Put that microphone down and stop using it like an